Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial about the PYBOSSA technology given by SciFabric in our crowdcrafting server. In this tutorial I'm going to explain to you how you can actually create a crowdsourcing project where you will be analyzing, classifying, counting items of a set of images with the crowd. So let's start. The first thing you will need is an account in crowdcrafting. So basically you can click in the sign in button and you will basically have an option to log in with your email and password, or if you prefer with your Twitter, Facebook or Google account. In my case I'm going to use the Twitter account. So click in that, I'm going to authorize it, and once I'm in, I'm going to get back to my crowdcrafting account. So as you can see, I'm back and now I'm able to create a project. So let's go. Create your project, and here is the wizard. This is something we have developed at SciFabric, and it will basically help you through the process to create the project in a few steps. The first thing you will have to do is basically type in a title for your project, so something like crowdsourcing images. Once you're happy with it, it's going to the next step, and basically it's here where you will have to type some small information about your project. So basically a short description of the project that could easily fit onto a tweet. So the description goes here. Then you will be able to actually choose a nice picture for your project. You click in here. As I'm going to talk about pictures, I'm going to use this one, which is really nice. And as you can see, you can drag and drop, you can zoom in and zoom out. Once you have it in what you look like and you're happy with it, you click in next step. Then we are going to ask you, or it's basically the wizard is going to ask you a few questions about your project. So basically we want to describe the project, what it's about, its main purpose and why it's important. So here it goes the description, a bit more longer than the previous one. That was the summary. Then how can people actually help and how their help will make a difference. This is really important for the volunteers. Important. And then who is behind the project? Just describe yourself and why you're doing this. Finally, there is a section for keeping track. Obviously, each PYBOSSA project and crowdcrafting is the same. It has their own blog, but you can actually include here your Twitter handle, your blog, or your mailing list, any information where they can actually, the volunteers can actually reach you or find information about the project. So something like the Twitter handle, Facebook page, etc. Once you're happy, you click in create, and this will basically create the project for you. Then it will basically ask you to set it up. Now that you have the project created, we are able to actually choose the materials that we want to work with. So PYBOSSA by default works in the wizard with these 5 materials. It could be images, it could be sounds, it could be videos, it could be PDFs and tweets. And as you can see, I have this layout where on the left side is the options, and on the right side we have like a help box where it gives you a small description of what you are choosing. So for example, if I choose images, it's going to tell you that you will be able to put images into any format from Dropbox or Flickr in a few steps. So let's go with that. And here is where we will be asking you what do you want to do with those files. So basically we have 3 options. A 4th one is coming. And the first one is basically classifying. Again, in the right side, we'll have the description about the help of this option. So basically, as it's telling here, we will be able to sort by groups, discard options, or arrange into classes. So this is the typical question. For example, how do you see a human in this picture, or do you see dogs in this picture, something like that. Then we have the description. So this is more about collecting detailed explanation or definitions of your data. So you have a set of pictures and you want to ask people to describe them. So something like, for example, can you explain the action in this picture, so people can describe what is going on it. And finally, we have the count option. So basically, imagine you want to know how many items of or elements are in regarding a group of items. So for example, how many dogs are in this picture, or how many tents do you see in the satellite images? Anything like that could be actually done. So once you're happy with it, let's go with the classification. You click in jump, and it will jump you to the next option. So basically, here's where you ask questions. So you can add as many questions as you want. Well, let's write first one. So let's go with, do you see a human face in this picture? The answers will be yes, no, and as you can see, we can add more. So for example, I don't know, sometimes it's difficult. And let's go for a safe one, like, hey, there is no picture. Sometimes the picture doesn't load because the owner deletes it or there is a problem. So those are the options. You can add as many as you want, and again with the question. So you add another question. Okay, let's go with a question like, what's the color of the t-shirt? So people can actually write green, blue, choose the green, blue, yellow, just for as an example. And if we want to add more questions, we can add more. They will be asked in, once the person has answered the first question, it will be shown the second one. Once the person has answered the second one, it will be shown the third one. So in this case, we are going to remove it because we don't need it. So as you can see, we can add and delete as many as we want. Once we are happy with it, we click in I'm good to go, and the wizard is going to ask you, okay, now it's time to tell us where you have your data. So it could be in Dropbox, in your own Dropbox folder, your own Dropbox account, or in Amazon S3. So if you have an Amazon S3 bucket, just use it, or in Flickr. I have a lot of pictures in Flickr, so I'm going to use Flickr. So you will log it in. Once you log in, it's going to list all your public sets or albums of pictures. In this case, I have a lot of them, as you can see. So I'm going to use this one, which has a lot of humans and pictures of human faces. So let's go with that. I click here and I will get a summary before creating the project. So basically it's going to tell me that my project is going to classify images, is going to import 20 items from Flickr, and it's going to have 2 questions with the following options. If everything is okay, I click in OK, and the project is baking up. And once it's ready, it's going to tell us this. Yoo-hoo! So let's go and let's try our project. So before publishing the project, PYBOSSA enables you to test it with your friends and colleagues. So this is like a draft in a blog post. So now we are able to actually test it, and we're going to get this warning all the time. Once we are happy with it, it's going to save. It's going to behave like a real project. The only difference is once we publish it, it's going to delete all the test answers. So you start from scratch with a clean project for your audience. So basically, don't worry and now play as much as you want with your project, as this is just a testing phase. So as you can remember, we have 2 questions. One of them is, do you see a human face in this picture? As you can see, it's here. I can actually answer yes. What color is the t-shirt? This one is green. And once I have answered, it's going to load the second one. Picture, do you see a human face in this picture? Yes. What color of the t-shirt? This is, well, it's none of those, but I'm going to go with green again, and it's going to keep loading and loading many more pictures, up to 20. Those were the ones that we have uploaded. So as you can see, it's working, so it will be able to actually publish it. So once you do it, it's going to go live, and you can actually engage with the crowd and invite your friends and colleagues to actually help you to classify the images. So that's all. As you can see, it's really simple and straightforward. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just go to the About page. Here we have information about the project, what we do, and how you can actually ask questions to ourselves in the GitHub, or going in Twitter, or in our website. So feel free to come in and ask any questions. Thanks a lot.